Breaking news coming in. I want to take you back to these visuals of Noida, where the car in which that unfortunate accident took place. Yuvraj, who was driving this car, Yuvraj Mehta, and crashed into this ditch. After 4 days, his car has finally been taken out. Remember, he was standing on top of this car before it went underwater along with Yuvraj. These visuals that you are seeing at this moment are of the very spot, the place, the ditch, which was not supposed to be there. The warnings were ignored and it resulted in the loss, tragic loss of life of this young engineer who died because of the negligence of the authorities. Now, this is murder, as I said, by negligence, but this is the vehicle that he was driving on the fateful night of January 17th when his car crashed into this ditch and Yuvraj passed away. He was on top of this car for more than 45 minutes, kept begging, pleading. Let me take you right now to my colleague Teshri, who is getting us the details.
The forensic outcomes of this car, what we are also being told is that also has the recording, it also had the recordings of the front camera. So in all likelihood, this car will also be having, the car will also be, it will also be having the pictures or the very first moment of the videos, so as to what was happening at that particular point of time. In the pictures, you can see that now the car is now being recovered. This is the car this is the car of Yuvraj Mehta, which was being searched, which was continuously being searched by, in fact, was continuously being searched by the NDRF teams, and now the finally remains taken next. Will be taken. Those are the pictures of car that we are giving you, and that was the drain sample. Car has been recovered. You can see that the front window of this car is completely broken right now. The window is completely damaged, and the pictures of the car and the visuals, you can see that how, in fact, the car is completely damaged, and what the condition must have been at that particular point of time when Yuvraj was taking his last breath. He kept on calling, sending on this particular car only that please save me. The NDRF teams were here, the teams of SDRF, not just that, but also remember that the firefighters were also here, but nobody was able to help him out except one delivery guy who in fact came, was there in the drain for around 20 minutes, and finally he was able, and then after fighting for 20 minutes, he finally said that he could not get Yuvraj. But yes, this particular car now has been recovered. These are the pictures that we are giving you. In fact, these pictures are highlighting the sheer negligence, the apathy, and also the carelessness of the authorities, the carelessness of the authorities as well. And not just that, but also, in fact, who are responsible for this entire incident, or rather, I should call it a murder. Because, earlier also there have been complaints, the residents have been complaining that when they drive on this route, because of the fog, the area goes completely invisible, and that is why it becomes very difficult for them to drive. And remember that when Yuvraj must be driving in the midnight, what must the condition have been? Not just that, but this area was completely covered with fog. He drove from this area and completely dashed, because remember that in January from this area and completely dashed, because remember then the vehicle accidentally went to the drain, and now the vehicle has finally been recovered. These pictures are giving you of the vehicle being recovered. The NDR are now here. They are trying the vehicle to the dumper, and now it is taken to the nearest police station where this car will be taken. Also, in fact, there could be a possibility that the last moment pictures as well could be recovered, but seems like all these parts are now all these things are now part of investigation. Now remains to be seen that what action next is being taken, because today only we saw that authorities came over here from Noida DM to police commissioner to the local, to the MP as well. Local leaders also did come over here to take the stock of the situation. We didn't ask them tough questions. We asked them that who is accountable, but none of them gave us any answer. But these are the pictures of the car that's just being recovered. We are giving you on NDTV so as to give a sense about what the picture of negligence could look like. So this is the picture of negligence and carelessness looks like, and what's the end result. Today we are reporting on the story. It's we never know if this continues tomorrow or maybe next month or next week. The same atrocity could take place here in Delhi NCR, which we call it as and this locality, in fact, also if we talk about the locality, one of the very posh localities as well. This is not an area are not constructed or the roads are bad, and that's why perhaps he could have, because of bad roads, dashed into this wall. No, it is nothing like that. It is all because of the negligence of the authorities, because no such barricades were placed. Now these barricadings are being placed, and now no signboards were also there at that point of time, and that's why in fact Yuvraj perhaps got into the drain. He kept on calling his father, but multiple times his father also was standing over here on the same spot. Remember what must the father be going through, asking, seeing his child dying in front of his eyes. That today first time in my life, feeling helpless. My yelling, kept on asking that, please help me, please rescue me. The rescue teams were here, but none of the rescue team was ready to go inside. Why? Because they were not trained rescuers. They are not trained divers. And here in the pictures, you are watching the visuals of the car. Now you see that now perhaps the hook that was tied to this car will now be detached, and then the bumper will be taking the car. This truck will be taking perhaps the car to the location for the further investigation. With VJ Ashok Mahale, this is Stage 3 for NDTV from Noida.
All right, that's Tejshri, my colleague, filing a report live at this moment where the car is being taken out from that very pit where unfortunately on 17th Yuvraj died. This was not an accident, ladies and gentlemen. This was murder by negligence. Authorities kept sleeping on the wheel, on the job that they were supposed to do, which resulted in the death of this young 27-year-old. His family now left to deal with the wounds, and I can't imagine what the father must be going through, seeing his son die, being absolutely helpless in the last moments of his life.